Matchstick Men is a 2003 film directed by Ridley Scott. It stars Nicolas Cage, Sam Rockwell, and Alison Lohman. Right now, I want to start off by giving a little bit of a backstory of of my kind of connection to this film. Okay, I was 8 years old when this film came out, and at the time, my mother really wanted to see this one, Hidalgo, and Seabiscuit. And she eventually got around to seeing Seabiscuit like maybe 1 or 2 years later somehow. I don't remember. But yeah, for the longest time, my brother and I, we did all we could to prevent her from seeing Hidalgo and Matchstick Men. But eventually, I wound up getting a little bit of a hankering to see this film. So yeah, 18 years of no Matchstick Men. Finally got around to seeing it. It's an okay film. It's not amazing, but it's still somewhat enjoyable. The thing that I thought was a little bit of a okay. It's directed by Ridley Scott. Okay, I thought that this was actually one of his weaker films. It's good, definitely is a thumbs up sort of film, but it's not one of Ridley Scott's best. When you look at his best, you look at Alien, you look at Thelma and Louise, you look at Blade Runner. But Matchstick Men is only able to keep its head above water a little bit, and that little bit is Nicolas Cage. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Nicolas Cage anymore, but this was before he started doing all those silly roles and silly performances. His character might be a little bit over the top in this, but this is still one of his best performances that he's ever done on the screen. I'd call this almost as good as his magnum opus, his best performance, which was when he played Ben Sanderson, in Leaving Las Vegas. In this one, Nicolas Cage plays this. He plays like LA's best con man named Roy, and he has Tourette's and he has an extreme case of OCD. Sam Rockwell is his partner, and they are the best. If ever they have rivals or they have really smart people that they're trying to con out, no problem. They can easily get out. They can easily destroy they can easily get the money. It's pretty fun stuff. Now the thing is, Nicolas Cage's performance in this, it's better than the movie itself. Usually, whenever a movie as a whole is great, the performances and the movie itself, they have to be really on par with each other. But this one right here, if Nicolas Cage wasn't so freakishly amazing in this, then the movie itself wouldn't have been very good. The yeah, Cage is better than the movie itself. So it's cool seeing Cage and Rockwell con people. This is a little bit of a comedy, and eventually takes a turn where um, Alison Lohman comes into the mix, and she turns out to be Cage's 14-year-old long lost daughter. He used to be married, and Angela's his daughter's name is Angela. That's his offspring. So she wants to really insert herself into his business, and the movie really becomes like Paper Moon, that thing with Ryan and Tatum O'Neal from the 70s. But let's face it, this movie's nowhere near as good as Paper Moon. Paper Moon, Peter Bogdanovich, he made the movie itself as good as the performances, mainly Tatum O'Neal's. And that's ultimately, as I said, what this movie's missing. But okay, what would be cool if they had if Nicolas Cage's character in this and Tatum O'Neal's character in Paper Moon were together, that'd be like just the best thing ever. And like if they replaced Nicolas Cage's character in Paper Moon because Paper Moon's the better film, that'd be like the coolest thing ever. But anyway, back to Matchstick Men. The last act of the film really is where the movie takes off, and that's another flaw with the film. One of the reasons why this movie isn't as good as its lead characters because it never really feels like there's big takeoff points to this. It always feels like it's just staying kind of grounded and kind of on the down low. But as it progresses into its final act, it shoots up. It gets better, and it's kind of and that last little bit was where it gets kind of shocking and pretty fun too. So not even so. Match Man isn't an amazing film, but it's still enjoyable. I'd recommend it for what it is. I'm gonna give it 3 stars out of 4.